I think context and time perspective is very important, especially when you're looking at the ADA charts. I think it's important to understand why ADA price is at where it's at, how unfortunate timing is kind of played into what the charts look like. And frankly, when we look at the weekly charts from the top, they look pretty darn ugly, right? When we look at just this little batch here, seeing only 3 green weeks in here over the course of the last, 15 weeks, that's not good. That's not good in any stretch of the imagination. Now, when we zoom out and we look at actually what this big run up for ADA has looked like, it actually doesn't look too bad. Yes, I understand it's not on par with some of the other coins that have done well. It's not even on par with a coin that I just got into a couple days ago that's been pumping, but that's neither here nor there because ADA, remember, is a over $10 billion market cap. It takes more to move the needle. It takes more to really get the flip switch or the switch flipped and get things going. Now, what I will say is this. We may be headed into a week where things are going to turn around and frankly, a longer period of time where things are about to turn around. And I want to tell you guys why. So if you guys missed my SHIB video earlier today, I was talking a little bit about how when we tend to have these multiple weeks of bleed in a row, like BTC dropping for 2 straight weeks, you tend to have a recovery week following that, right? 2-week bleed, bounce, 2-week bleed, bounce, 2-week bleed, bounce. And that's kind of what we're getting into. And luckily, ADA, at least for the most part, tends to follow the same trend. It doesn't always result in, a breakout or an emergence to a higher price or anything like that, but it is a little sign of life. All right, we saw it back here, saw it back here, saw it back here. And what I will say is this is all the times too that we've been hit with our unfortunate timing. Sometimes ADA tends to lag a little bit on those breakouts. If you guys haven't noticed, right, the market will start to pump and then ADA's kind of a couple days later as everything's starting to cool off and it just gets drugged down. It's kind of one of the, we'll call it a late bloomer, right? But getting into next week, we're sitting in some very important metrics here. We're actually seeing some very good net network growth. So we're seeing an increase in the amount of holders, which is very exciting. So you have people that are actually getting into ADA. You guys can see some of the holder concentrations by time changing. We've actually seen a couple or a smaller percentage of long-term holders actually dip. And now we've seen some newer term holders come in. So you have some people that are getting in actually at lower price points. And right now, again, we're still at just this insanely low level of people that are in profit. It's only 32% that are either in the money or below. So again, we're sitting on these levels where frankly, not a lot of people want to sell. And that's understandable, right? That's a reason why when we look at this consolidation period for ADA, it took forever. And it took really an overall negative push from the market to even break below this 43-cent barrier here. Okay. So now we sit below this and we're getting into next week and we hopefully have this balance ahead of us. But really some of the big things that we have coming over this month, next month, and the following month are huge changes in the Cardano ecosystem. We have the launch of Node 9.0 this month. So this is validators basically getting ready for on-chain governance. We need a 75%, I think it's 75%. Yeah, I believe it's 75% switch over to this in order to basically approve this conversion to the hard fork or do the hard fork. Then we have phase 1 of the Chang hard fork launching next month. And then we have phase 2 of the Chang hard fork launching in August. And this is all kind of happening at perfect timing. The reason why I say that is when we look at market cycles past, really alt season begins to take off in those later summer months, July, August. That's kind of when the switch starts to flip, this long, boring summer that we typically experience, which is kind of what we've been in, frankly. Things start to change a little bit. Adoption begins to pick up. Capital begins to flow a little more freely. All right. That's the time that we're very quickly approaching. So I'm 100% convinced that the ADA chart is going to turn around, right? Yeah, it hasn't looked great here as of late. It hasn't looked great over these last 15 weeks. And I would have loved for ADA to get some of these breakouts instead of rejections and getting drugged down with the overall crypto market. But at the same time, people that are saying, oh, ADA is the only one doing it or ADA is getting, just dropping because it's crap, it's just flat out a lie. All right. We've been covering ADA for a very long period of time. We know the reason why it broke out late last year. We know why it's been getting rejected here recently. But again, we're getting into times where, frankly, the price isn't reflecting some of these big things that have taken place. It's not reflecting some of the big advancements that are coming over these next few months. And that gives me some excitement. So I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.